Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jack. Totemic Shaman has been released, so let's go right into what this is all about. First things first, Surging Totem is replacing Healing Rain. Summons a totem at your feet that immediately casts Healing Rain, and every 5 seconds will cast another one within 30 yards where allies are present, healing for 30% more than a Healing Rain. So you see, this is our nice, awesome totem right here, and then it casts a Healing Rain just beside me. And then it also has these little motes that you're able to see swirling around the totem, which is part of the capstone, which we'll show you in just a second. For the healing totem that's being put out, it seems to want to find clusters of players on its own. After I've been dropping it, there's been, some times where it drops on one person, but since there's a whole pile of allies right here, it does seem to want to move around a little bit. Nothing from what I saw seems like it will hit only one person that's out off to the side or anything like that. It kind of moves it a little bit here, but otherwise not too terribly much. Some of the other supporting talents for it are not yet implemented, unfortunately, but basically Chain Heal is going to jump to a totem when it hits its max number of targets and then bounces an additional time. You have a couple choice nodes where when your Surging Totem is active, which is pretty much active all the time, it's going to increase your damage and healing done. While Ascendance is active, Surging Totem is 150% more effective, so you can get some bigger output that way. Your Healing Tide Totem, Healing Stream, Cloud Burst, Mana Tide, Spirit Link all cast a free instant Chain Heal when you summon them. This is very much like the Lively Spirits, except for that was like a burst of healing out of your Spirit Link totem. So now this is just kind of a burst of healing from most of the other totems you're utilizing. Reactivity, your healing spells cause your Healing Stream totems to heal a nearby ally at 50% effectiveness. Or if you're taking Cloud Burst, it's storing 25% additional healing. Wind Barrier, if you have a totem active, your totems grant you a shield absorbing damage for 30 seconds, every 30 seconds. You have a choice between oversized totems, bigger size and radius of those totems, which could be really insane for things like Spirit Link. Or you have the option between getting cooldown reduction for Tremor or Poison Cleansing Totem if they dispel, or cooldown reduction for Cap Totem and Earth Grab if they actually are grabbing something or crowd controlling something. So this is kind of an interesting one, especially for a dungeon environment. Imbuement Mastery increases the duration of your Earth Living effect. You can also take Pulse Capacitor, or you could take Supportive Imbuements. So Pulse Capacitor increases the damage and healing of your Surging Totem, which seems like it'd be really insane, especially with how often you're getting the totem up, or you're pretty much always having it up. Or Supportive Imbuements, where you have a Weapon Imbue, which naturally increases your healing, but it's imbued on your shield. And it increases the duration of your Healing Stream and Cloudburst Totem by 3 seconds. You also have Totemic Coordination, where your chain heals from your totems are 30% more effective. That's like a callback to Totemic Rebound. So the chain heals coming from the totems themselves, the extra bounces, are becoming more effective. Also, you have the extra chain heals from lively totems itself, so it's good synergy there. You also have Earth Surge, where your allies affected by Earthen Wall, APT, and Earth Living receive 10% increased healing from you. And finally, you have Whirling Elements. That last bit, maybe if there's some fights with APT being used, if you wanted to use it for like the defensive value or something, that could be pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious about Earthen Wall because it's very small absorbs, and if you have like ticking damage, it's like you're buffed by it and then it's gone. You're buffed by it and then it's gone. So not sure about that one. But finally, the motes that I was telling you guys about, you have 3 different like motes that are whirling around your totem, and you're going to see them again right here. You can see the air, earth, and water kind of spinning around our totem. And so each of these gives you a different buff. The water buff is your next healing wave or surge, also heals an ally inside of your healing rain, so it helps replicate your healing. Air reduces the cast time of your next healing spell by 40%, so you could just cast that healing wave and consume 2 motes at once. So if I cast the wave, I'm not only going to be healing somebody inside of the healing rain, but I'm also going to cast that healing wave faster. And then the last mote is the Earthen Mote, where your next chain heal applies Earth Living at 150% effectiveness to all targets hit. So basically, every single time that you have this totem out, you're then getting additional motes to be able to buff your output in a small but like decently significant way. It's nice that there's these passive effects that you can sort of tack onto it, that you're going to feel an immediate small power boost on hand every single time you activate the ability. This is also really reminiscent of like Archon, Holy Priest, where, you know, you just kind of cast Halo and then it's automatically casting and contracting Halo bursts around you. And so in a lot of ways, having Surging Totem on hand seems like if the tech is like smart enough, that it's just going to be straight up better than having to sit there and cast Healing Rains all the time. When I was doing my like tier list of the healer hero talents and ranking them, actually a couple different comments I saw were specifically citing how annoying it is to maintain Healing Rain every 10 seconds all the time, and how annoying it is to just be putting it down to be able to deal any sort of damage. So this could be an excellent way to not have to really worry about that. If the smart tech is smart enough, which it seems to be, just kind of dropping it around in town right now has made it so that I don't really have to worry about it dropping on only one person. It kind of just seems to find clusters of people to utilize. So as long as that tech still, stays in place, I think this is actually going to be a really fun hero talent that takes away like extra stress from having to target and place your Healing Rain every 10 seconds. And then I'm also really stoked about, what was it right here, for reactivity. Being able to store more output in Cloudburst Totem. I'm always a huge fan of Cloudburst, and that's one of the big reasons why I really loved playing Shaman back in Legion, was the Cloudbursts always actually made it feel powerful and feel useful. Every time that you would just let them explode and let them burst for output. And I've really missed that lately with a lot of the different iterations of Shaman that we've experienced. So I am very much stoked that there's more Cloudburst support, even if there's other spells that are also increasing the value of Healing Stream Totem. That's fine too, but it does seem like you're having noticeable output, noticeable high impact, and I'm also really excited about getting a larger radius increase for things like Spirit Link Totem on hand. Is this the bigger version? It kind of looks a lot larger right now. I'm spec'd into the oversized totems, but it says it's technically not active right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to see about that one. But overall, I think Totem Shaman actually is a much better successor to Farseer, or a much better competition. In fact, I would say I like it just better in a lot of ways. My issue with Farseer was, again, activating off Unleash Life. It kind of like pigeonholes you into running that, which is something that, I think last time I checked, nobody in M+ was really messing around with, unless they were playing like a pure single target build for mana efficiency or something. So I would prefer, personally, not to have to tie my entire success onto Unleash Life. I also like that Totem Shaman feels a little bit faster, because you have to take up so much time, it feels, to be casting and refreshing your Healing Rains, and this sort of just jumps the line with it. And so as long as, you have a decent composition for your group, aka a melee or two, it feels like it'll be really easy to be able to place these Healing Rains that they're actually going to be good to deal damage and to be able to produce some healing. My only concern would basically be if you were running in like a full range group, and it would just be the tank, you might just start getting some Healing Rains jumping off into range players, which would be great in a high healing boss fight or something like that. But it would also kind of kill your damage if you're trying to play around Acid Rain and trying to, boost up your output that way, or boost up your damage that way. Because if I'm going to drop my totem right now, then the Healing Rain, I don't even know where it went. Ah, here it is. I found it. So now it's also, going to be dealing its damage, having its effectiveness, and it's also refreshing at this point. But I wonder if there is some better way to be able to force where the Healing Rains go. I think it's not going to be a problem in a raid, since you're going to have plenty of melee on hand anyway to like focus where the field is going to be placed, but I'm a little bit more concerned for a key environment for that. Otherwise, I think this is a nice upgrade to Farseer, and I like how the visuals work for like the surges, where you can already see the motes. Once again, they're right here, to be able to increase your output, how you consume them, how you spend them. Actually just feels like noticeably good. And having areas where it is transforming your abilities, not adding more bloat to the table, not adding more complications. It feels like the tree is also pretty flexible for a raid or an M+ environment. I think a lot of it just kind of sits on where the Healing Rains are going to go. As long as they go into the right areas, I think it'll be just fine. But definitely one of my priorities is test this when M+ starts dropping, and also just see where those healing fields are going to be going onto their own. So, big fan. But let me know what you guys think, if you like or don't like the Totemic Shaman versus Farseer. I do think this is actually, again, going to be a nice competition between raids and M+, so I'm pretty excited about it. Unfortunately, a lot of the abilities are just not yet implemented. That's the NYI above. So when we can actually test the full tree, we'll be sure to have some footage testing that as well. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all next time.